Hello, my name is Tim. My company is Sports and Touring, and we are performance Jaguar and particularly F-Type specialists. But I'm not going to talk about F-Types or Jaguars. I'm going to talk about a commonly held misconception, a myth, in fact, which is dangerous to you as a car buyer because it could lead you to buy the wrong car, or rather not to buy the right car. And the myth is that a car which has had more keepers is worse than a car which has had fewer keepers. And sometimes this gets extended to you should only buy a car with 1 or 2 previous keepers. Well, where does it come from? I honestly don't know. It's very commonly believed. I presume it's kind of passed from parent to child. Maybe people chat about this at the pub and no one ever questions it. We don't apply it to anything else, do we? You don't ask how many people lived in the house that you're considering buying. You don't ask the hotel receptionist how many folk have washed in the bathroom of the room we're about to check into. You just make sure those things are of good quality and you contentedly move on to enjoy them. With cars, for some reason, it's different. We get phone calls and emails from people saying, how many keepers has that car that you're selling had? And I sometimes go back and say, well, do you mind if I ask where that question comes from? And there is never a logical and cogent reason behind the question. It's just people believe that more keepers equals worse car, but they can't say why. Now, in the number of years now that I've been in the motor trade, I've bought and sold hundreds of cars, and I can tell you that I have observed no parallel at all in the prestige and performance cars that we deal in between the number of keepers and the quality of the vehicles. We have had beautiful cars which have passed from enthusiast to enthusiast to enthusiast. We've had a 10-year-old car with 11 keepers on the record, which was totally immaculate. You could have bought it and taken it the next day to a car show and won a prize. Conversely, we've walked away from one-owner cars which were offered to us for sale, which were so diabolically bad that we couldn't even begin to consider trying to get them up to our retail standard. Why is this? Well, a lot of looking after a car is about being engaged with it and having the money to spend. And enthusiasts who buy and sell cars frequently are very engaged. It's their hobby often. And they have the money. They tend to be people with liquid cash to spend. Conversely, what are the chances that someone who has a car for 10 years at some stage either runs out of enthusiasm for that car or for motoring in general, or has a bit of a cash flow crisis and doesn't have the funds to put towards the car's upkeep? From my observations, that is quite a common factor in one-owner cars. And I'll deliver now the knockout blow. The fact is that if you got an expert to come here and inspect all of the F-Types, over a dozen of them that we have under our roof, test drive them, read the onboard diagnostics, inspect them very carefully on a workshop ramp and out in the open and do all of those things, and you then said to that expert, would you please tell me now how many previous keepers each car has had? First, I think that expert would be enormously foolish to try. And second, if they did try, all they would present is wild guesswork, because there simply is no parallel. If you select cars very, very carefully, as we do, based on the quality of the bodywork, the glasswork, the interior, the carpets, the upholstery, the equipment, the wheels, the tyres, the engine, the drivetrain, the gearbox, the suspension, if you inspect all those things very carefully, and they're all very good, it doesn't matter how many people have taken care of that car previously. You know that however many, it's been done well. Conversely, if those things aren't good, it doesn't matter how many people were engaged in the car's downfall either, does it? It could be one owner who lacked diligence or a series of people who didn't care or didn't have the money. I hope this has been very helpful. If you have contradictory ideas, please put them in the comments below. We'll have a conversation, we'll engage, and we'll explore this myth together. If you would like to, then please subscribe and like here on YouTube. We'll be doing a lot more F-Type content and general car buying and selling content in weeks and months to come, and I hope you'll enjoy it. For now, thank you very much indeed. Contact details coming up in a moment if we can help you at all with your F-Type or Performance Jaguar purchases. And I will say we'll see you very soon indeed, I hope.